Hello, my name is James Whelan, Managing Director of the Barclay Pierce Capital's Wealth Management team, and you are joining us for another corporate showcase interview. This time I am joined by Matt Hartmann, who is the President of US Operations at Locksley Resources, LKY, ASX stock code, which is there. Now, he's only just joined recently, and I am glad to talk to him. Matt, how are you now?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, James? It's a lovely Sunday evening here in Colorado, dealing with the time change here for you.
Yeah, it's you're just catching us on a Monday, and Sydney again as usual sparkles, and I look forward to catching up over here on our sandy shores that we've got. Look, we're going to get straight into it because these things need to be sort of snappy, but not too snappy. That's there. Again, thank you everyone for joining us on this one. So you have joined recently to the Locksley team. What excites you about the story?
I think it's the grade. I think that's the one thing that jumps out anytime you talk about rare earths is what is the grade of the project. You see a lot of different projects that are sitting out there with relatively low grades. But what Locksley has, especially with some of the rock chip samplings at El Campo, showing over 12% total rare earths, that catches attention. And that definitely caught my attention.
Matt, recently I was out in Las Vegas and was honoured enough to be invited out to the Mojave Desert to go and have a look at the holdings out there, El Campo being one of them. Long day in the desert that was. The boots still, everyone thought that the RM Williams wouldn't get any dirt on them when I bought them. It turns out that was very much not the case when I was out there. Actually going out and kicking the rocks in the desert, actually seeing what was going on. There's rare earth elements that are in that vicinity as well. Mountain Pass, which is just nearby, that has a line of sight. I don't want to fill in your story for you, but do you want to tell us about the relevance of that particular holding with regards to the neurology that it has to that site?
Sure. And sorry I missed you too, James. I had to get on to PDAC, but wasn't able to join you in the field.
Got to do the job.
Yeah, we're right next door to Mountain Pass. Mountain Pass is the only producing rare earth mine in the United States. Captures a large percentage of production market globally. I think about 15% comes out of that mine on a global basis. If you stood on El Campo, and that's probably where you spent a bit of time, as we have outcropping mineralization there, rock chips coming back at roughly 12% total rare earth oxides. But you can stand on the strike of that outcrop and you look right off to the northwest and you see Mountain Pass mine. You can see the mine dumps there. You can see where the open pit, kind of falls away into there and all the activity that goes on. And then up on the north side, obviously our North Block claims butt up right against Mountain Pass. So we've got a nice, for lack of a better word, a neurology play that actually has values on it. It's showing to have some great potential. And lines up nicely on trend with the mineralization that they're exploiting right now at Mountain Pass.
Yeah, and even if you want to take a bigger picture view of the entire situation, the geopolitical climate, I mean, China is a big producer of this particular element or these particular elements as well. You can see the relevance that it is of having US holdings there to various entities and agencies that want to make sure that it's protected, and that really shone out when I was over there having a look at exactly what's there.
Yeah, definitely. From a secure supply stream story, Mountain Pass factors very large within that. There are not a lot of other sources in the Western world for rare earth elements, and certainly none more concentrated or more exploited than Mountain Pass right now. We're hoping that we can find something, very similar to that within our claims. And so far, we're seeing some grades that are very similar to what they are mining in Mountain Pass right now. Yeah. So hopeful that we can assemble and put together something that leads to a resource and something that we can have further studies on to see what the economic potential might be.
Now let's go back over the story of Locksley here. So, what's ahead for us? So we're talking about the completion of a follow-up stream sediment sampling program. You want to go into what the situation is there?
Yeah. So over the past less than a year actually, but say over the last 9 months or so, we've completed several stream sediment sampling campaigns. The most recent of which was completed in probably early to late February. On the backside of that, obviously we have the results of that. We've seen anomalous values all over our northern claim block. I think we're going to plan on going out and doing some additional, more comprehensive mapping, just because the anomalous samples are so widespread. We need to kind of narrow things down, and we're seeing that stream sediment samples aren't honing in as maybe as much as we'd like, and we need to just finish up with some rock chip sampling and some better mapping around some of those anomalies. So looking to finish that up on the north block, and then we have yet to even touch the south block, and that is pretty exciting for us because we've only tapped maybe half of this land package so far with any of our exploration activities. So there's still a lot to do and a lot for us to work on through this year.
Yeah. Did you want to go into the South Block at all?
We don't have a whole lot of knowledge on it yet, other than some just the basis of the original staking, which was just proximities, locations, and following trends off of Mountain Pass and El Campo going to the south. So right now we're looking to get in there, but we focus mostly on the north block to date. And with that, with some of the results that we've had also off the north block, we've staked some additional ground in there. I think we just released that out in our news release probably about 2 weeks ago. We picked up additional roughly 6 square kilometers of claims in that area. So now we total somewhere around 25 square kilometers of claims that make up the Mojave project in those 3 blocks, as I said, the north block, the El Campo, and then the south block. So quite a sizable project. It's going to take us some time to work through that and find all the opportunities that may exist there.
Well, it does sound like there's a long pipeline of potentially decent results to come through, but some results to come through, a lot of places to move around that you could have. If we could zoom it back out again now, I've spent a lot of time talking about sort of the bits and pieces that you've got around the locations, rare earth elements and their role in global decarbonisation. It's close to the heart of Barclay Pierce Capital here with the decarb story, but mainly with the everyday use. So if we just go into, and this is a conversation that a lot of people have had over the past, but where do rare earth elements come into our day-to-day lives?
Well, I think they're in a lot of places you don't realize they are. Magnets in general are in almost every electrical motor that you use. They're in a lot of different pieces, a lot of different hardware and components of the electronics that have come into use by everyone on a daily basis now, and that's only going to grow. So I think there's a lot of opportunities with rare earths. I mean, if you look at the market overall, it fluctuates. We see highs and lows, but overall the trend is on the up. And we've seen that now for several years, and I think it's only going to sustain in that same direction. So Locksley's positioned itself to take advantage of that. These projects don't come online fast. If they came on fast, there wouldn't be much market for these, but they're difficult deposits to find and take time to get there. And so we've lined this up. Hopefully we have some success, and hopefully we are able to play in that market going forward.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Matt Hartmann, President of US Operations for Locksley Resources. Now, if any investors are wanting to support or know more about the Locksley or the rare earth element story through their journey, then please reach out to myself through 1,000 different ways, or Barclay Pierce Capital through, again, 1,000 different ways that are going to be posted through the link attached to this as well. And we will make sure that you get added to the chairman's list so that you get all of the updates and everything that you need as quickly as possible. Matt, thank you for joining us, mate.
Thank you, James. I appreciate your time.
No problem at all. My name is James Whelan, MD of Barclay Pierce Capital's Wealth Management Team, and you have joined us for a corporate showcase interview with Locksley Resources. Have a great day.